Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna share with you my Pandora ring collection. So if you wanna see more, stay here with me. Pandora is a Danish jewelry manufacturer and also retailer. It was founded in the year of 1982 by Per Involsing and his wife at the time, Winnie. I have made a whole video here on YouTube just talking about the Pandora history. So if you want to learn more details and see a lot of curiosities about the brand, check my video down below because I'm gonna leave the link in the description for you. Pandora has a huge variety of different materials used to produce their rings. They have rings that are made of 14 karat solid gold. They also have one collection called Shine, which is made of silver rings that are then plated in 18 karat gold. And they also have another collection called Rose Gold. And this collection is made of a very unique blend of metals that is very unique to Pandora. And they also have several rings made of sterling silver. I have a huge collection of Pandora rings. Most of my rings are the ones made of sterling silver, but I do have a few ones that belong to the Shine collection and also the Rose collection. So I'm gonna show everything to you now. I'm going to start this video showing you the very first two rings that I bought at Pandora. The first two rings I bought were these two rings here. I'm gonna leave the close-up images on the side here for you to see better. But I have the Princess Tiara Crown, which is this ring right here. And I also have this other one, which is called Alluring Brilliant Marquise Stacking Ring. This other ring here is pretty cool because they are what they call stacking ring, which are these thin Pandora rings that can be used together with other thin rings, and you can compose different looks by mixing different rings and different metal colors. So I like to wear these two rings here together. That's how I usually wear them. I like to put the crown with this little marquise ring. I think they look very good together. All the Pandora rings that you're gonna see in this video that have this little translucent stone are cubic zirconia stones. And one interesting story behind these rings here is that I actually bought these two rings twice. And I'm gonna tell you why. The first time I bought these rings, I went to a trip in Sedona in the state of Arizona. And I remember that my husband and I decided to stop at a Wendy's restaurant there to eat. And I went to the bathroom and I ended up forgetting my two rings inside the bathroom after washing my hands. I realized that right after we left the restaurant that I had no rings in my hand anymore. So we came back to the restaurant and we talked to the manager there, but unfortunately nobody found the ring. We talked to people who were still at the restaurant too, asking if anyone had seen my two rings, but nobody said anything. So it was my loss. I was really sad about that because these were the first ever two rings that I bought from Pandora, but I loved them so much that I ended up repurchasing both of them. And you're gonna see in the end of my collection that this ring here, the Princess Crown, I have it not only in silver, which is the one you're seeing here, but I also got in the other two different finishes they have available. So I got all three of them. So you can see how much I really like this piece here. I'm also gonna leave the item numbers of every single ring you're gonna see in this video because it's going to be a lot easier to locate the ring in case you're interested and maybe it's just sold out at the Pandora website. I started my Pandora collection in the year of 2013, so it was 10 years ago. So some of the pieces that you're gonna see in this video are retired. So if you wanna buy them, you will need to either buy it pre-loved or try to locate it on eBay or any other site online. But it's a lot easier to do so if you have the item number. Another ring that I'm gonna share with you is this one right here. This ring is called Midnight Star, and it has a beautiful kind of navy color stone on it. One of the reasons why I really love this ring is because of this huge stone that it has right in the front here, and it catches the light so well. It kind of turns into different shades of blue according to how the light hits this ring. So I really love it. And this one also can be a stacking ring. So I usually wear this one here with some of those stacking rings that I have. They're thinner. I have one that has little stars all over it, and I think they look really good together. So I really love this piece. I wish Pandora would make a lot more rings that have huge like statement stones like this one that I can see here, because I think it looks gorgeous like on my hands with a nice manicure. It's just beautiful. It's really eye-catching. This ring here is called the Crystallized Floral Fancy, and I love big stones like I have just told you. So this ring here has a huge cubic zirconia stone, which is surrounded by several other cubic zirconia stones that are a little smaller. So I really love this ring. I think it reminds me of something a little antique, but just gorgeous. This is not a stacking ring at all. It is more of a statement ring. It cannot be used with other rings in the same finger because of its shape, but I think there's no need for it. There's no need to even highlight this stone here. I think just wearing this alone by itself is already a statement piece. I like that this ring has a very vintage look. Pandora has a variety of pearl rings too. I have 4, and the biggest one is this one that I'm gonna show you here. This ring is called Everlasting Grace, and this is a stacking ring. Even though it has this big stone here, it can be used with other rings. I have 2 other rings that have white enamel around them, and they are very thin rings. So I have 2 of those, and I like to put one in each side of this ring to kind of highlight this big pearl that it has here. I really love this ring. I love pearls, and I think the setting details are just breathtaking. Look at all these details that it has. It looks like a flower. I absolutely love this setting. So it's very unique, very beautifully made. The next ring I have is called Luminous Lips, and it has a pearl and also some little leaves surrounding it that have little cubic zirconia stones all around it. This is another very interesting setting because it's kind of a little twisted, and you can see kind of through the setting too, like the previous ring. The pearl on this one is a little smaller than the pearl on the previous ring that I showed you, but it's still very prominent and very beautiful. Now this one that you're seeing here is called Mystic Floral Enamel and Pearl, and it has 2 different things going on in this ring. In one side we have a pearl, and on the other side we have a black flower that is all painted in enamel, and in the center of the flower we have a tiny little cubic zirconia stone. This is the last pearl ring that I have here to show you. This one has the smallest stone of all the pearl rings that I own, and it's called Delicate Sentiments. It has a little bow, and the bow has a tiny little pearl in the center of it, and it's really cute. It also has pearls halfway on each side of the bow, and it's a very delicate ring, as the name suggests. Pandora also released a few years ago a whole collection with 12 different rings, which is called the Birthday Blooms. This collection has one ring with a different stone for each month of the year to celebrate people's different birth months. I have 4 here, as you can see, and I'm gonna show you one by one. The first one that I have here has just navy blue stone, which is called lapis lazuli, and this ring here is in honor of the month of September. I got this one here because my birthday is in September and I really like the color. The next one that you're seeing here has a turquoise color stone, and this ring here is celebrating the month of December. I got this just because I thought that the stone color was really beautiful because it reminds me of a Tiffany blue kind of color. The next one I have here is this one with this yellow stone, which is a citrine. This is kind of a translucent yellow. It's very beautiful. And this ring here celebrates all people who are born in the month of November. And that's why I got this ring. My husband was born in the month of November, so I got this ring in honor to him. The last birthday bloom ring that I have is this one here with this dark red stone. And this is a garnet, and it's in honor of the month of January. Now these 2 other rings that I have here are called Timeless Elegance, and I have it in red and also green. The red one is a synthetic ruby, and the green one is just a green cubic zirconia, and both of them are surrounded by little cubic zirconia stones all over, including the back of the ring too. These pieces are just stunning. They shine a lot, and they have these rings here in different colors and metals too. I'm gonna try to show you the detail of each one. This is the red one. It has a very vibrant stone in the center, and the other one here is the green one, which is a cubic zirconia stone, which is beautiful too. Kind of looks like an emerald stone. They are just gorgeous. I would love to have the blue one too. I like the colorful ones better, but I think the ones with the translucent stone have more of an engagement ring look to it. This is the last ring that I have in my collection, which has a colorful stone to show you. And this ring here is called Blue Sparkling Crown. And the blue stone here in the center is kind of a bluish purple, like navy blue color. And this is a blue crystal. And the setting in this ring is just stunning. The setting looks like a crown that has several little cubic zirconia stones surrounding the whole crown of the ring. And it also has little cubic zirconia stones both on the right and on the left of the ring. The stones are not present on the back of the ring in this case, but the setting sits very high in the ring, and you can see like the side of the stone through it. It's very beautiful. I usually wear this ring here with another ring that I think, if I'm not mistaken, is called Wishbone, that has several zirconias too, and I think they look just gorgeous together. This ring here is called Sparkling Leaves, and I gotta tell you that the leaves around this ring are indeed very sparkling. This ring, as you can see, has a very unique shape. I love all these little leaves here that one goes up and the other one goes down. It's very different, very unique. It is indeed a statement piece. This next ring here is called Sparkling Lace, and even though it is a big ring in the front, it's very skinny on the back, so it is very comfortable to wear. And the detail in the front here does look like a lace, so I get the name. And it's very shiny, especially when the light is hitting on it. This one here is called Dazzling Droplet, and it has several tiny little cubic zirconias surrounding the whole ring. The back of the ring has kind of two little hidden hearts inside it. So you see the attention to detail even on the inside part of this ring. This next ring that I have here, I always wear this ring with the previous ring that I have just shown you. I think they look really good together. This one here is called Teardrop Silhouette, and that's what it is. It is a shape of a teardrop that is all covered in tiny little cubic zirconia stones. This one here is called Dreamy Dragonfly, and it has a dragonfly here that is covered in little stones, and in the end of its tail there is a dangling little zirconia stone there too. It's very beautiful, and it has zirconias all over the ring. This one here is called Princess Wishbone, and it looks like a little crown that is surrounded by tiny little cubic zirconias in two different rows. I usually wear this ring here with that blue crystal ring with the crown setting that I have already shown you, and I think they look absolutely stunning together. Now this ring here is called String of Beads, and it's a very interesting ring because it has tiny little different beads that have a gradient effect in terms of sizing. Like the main little sphere here is really big, and then we have a slightly smaller on each side, and it gets gradually smaller and smaller. And the little spheres surround the entire ring. So even though this ring does not have any stone on it, it does have like a central point of attention here that looks really nice. This ring here is called Cloud 9, and it is a stacking ring, and it is pretty similar to the previous ring you have just seen. The only difference is that all the little spheres in this ring right here are the same size, and they're pretty big. I have another ring that I'm gonna show you next that has exactly the same style, but the little spheres are a lot smaller than this one here. And I have two of these because I do like to stack them. So this ring here is the smaller version of the ring you have just seen, and it is called Eternal Clouds. This ring here is called Twist, and it is another stacking ring. It is just a simple silver band that is all twisted all over. This one here is called Forever Love Stack Heart Ring, and it has tiny little silver hearts surrounding the entire ring. It is a stacking ring, so it can be combined with other Pandora rings, making totally different styles. This ring here is called Star Trail, and it's another stacking ring, but the difference is that this is a stacking ring that it's a lot heavier and thicker than most of all the stacking rings that I own from Pandora, and it has tiny little stars all over the ring. This next ring here is called Crossing Paths, and it's made of two of those infinity symbols, and there is one infinite symbol in the front of the ring and another one on the back of the ring, and the entire ring is all covered in tiny little cubic zirconia stones. This ring here is called Forevermore. It is a stacking ring, and it has tiny little hearts surrounding the entire ring, but this time the hearts are made of cubic zirconia. So every single heart has a tiny little cubic zirconia stone surrounding the entire ring. It has stones all over the ring, in the front of the ring and also the back of the ring. This ring is called Heart Swirls, and it's covered in cubic zirconia stones just in the front of the ring, and it has kind of a heart shape to it. This one here is called Ribbon of Love, and that's what it looks like. It looks like a ribbon, but a ribbon that is covered with tiny little cubic zirconia stones mixed with the plain silver metal all over the ring. I like that this ring has all these details all over and not only on the front part of the ring. This next ring is called Radiant Hearts of Pandora. And this is a very interesting ring because the band has tiny little hearts covering the entire side of the ring. And if we look at the front of the ring, this ring has a mixture of white enamel in one side of the ring, but the other side of the ring is actually covered in tiny little cubic zirconia stones. So for me, having this ring here is like having 3 different rings because it can be used in 3 totally different manners. The first way that this ring can be used is just displaying the cubic zirconia stones in the front. But if we turn the ring, we can just display the little white enamel. And this little white enamel paint is not a plain white. It has a pearlescent finish to it, so it is like a shimmering white finish to it that is very beautiful. And the third way to use this ring is showing both sides simultaneously. This ring that I have here is called Better Together, and this is a ring that has white enamel details all over the ring. So this is another of the stacking rings, and I own 2 of this style here because I like to stack them together. One way that I really like to stack these rings here is with those pearl rings that I showed you before. I think that the white enamel picks up the beautiful white color on the pearls and they just look stunning together. This ring is called Delicate Sentiments, and although I absolutely love all the rings that you are seeing in this video in my collection, I gotta tell you that this one here is definitely in my favorites list. And I think the reason why I like this ring so much is because it looks like I'm actually wearing 4 of those stacking rings together, because when we look at the front of this ring, I can see 4 different bands and a tiny little bow kind of connecting them. And all the front of the ring is covered with tiny little cubic zirconia stones, and the back of the ring has a plain silver metal on it. This is a very thick ring, so if you are considering purchasing this ring, I would advise you to go 1 size up. That's what I needed to do. And I usually wear like rings on this finger here, size 52, but this ring here is a size 54. I did try the 52 at the store, but it was too tight. And all my other rings that are thinner, that have a skinnier band, and I wear on this finger, they are actually a size 52. So I think you need to size up because of the very thick band that it has in order for it to fit and really be comfortable. This is another thick band, and it is called Silver Vintage Fascination. This is a very thick ring like the previous one that I showed you, but curiously, I did not need to size up with this ring here. This one has a very thick band surrounding the entire ring, but I bought my regular size 52. No need to size up on this one. This next ring here is called braid, and it is exactly what it is. It is a braided ring that is covered in tiny little zirconia stars, and the braided detail surrounds the entire ring. It's all over it. This next ring is called light as a feather, and it has a huge feather in the front of the ring. But the back of the ring is actually very skinny. So this ring is another one that is very comfortable to wear with no need to size up. And I also have the matching pieces to this earring that I'm gonna show you on my following videos. This ring here is called Laurel Wreath, and it is beautiful even though it's very simple. It's kind of minimalist and statement at the same time. The reason why I really love this ring, I think it's because it reminds me of Christmas some way, because these little leaves here, they do look like a wreath, and they kind of wave around your finger too. It is a very different ring. Most of all my Pandora rings are made entirely of sterling silver, as you could see so far. But Pandora also has some rings that are two-tone rings. So these rings have a little bit of sterling silver and a little bit of 14 karat gold. The first style that I'm going to share with you of a two-tone ring is this style here. This ring is called Signature, and it is a silver ring, but in the center of the ring they have a little bit of yellow gold on it, and it's also covered in tiny little zirconia stones. So it has a little like a round feature in front of the ring, and it says Pandora twice. So it is a nice ring that I really like, and I like the mixture of the two different metals. I think that it gives more possibilities, because this ring here can be used both with silver and gold tone jewelry, so it's more versatile because it matches with pretty much all the metals. Another two-tone Pandora ring that I have is this one here. It has hearts all over the ring, but one of the hearts is made of gold. So it is a very beautiful ring, and it's a little thicker than the average stacking ring that Pandora produces. The only thing that I did not like about this ring is that I purchased this ring here online, and I was under the impression that this tiny little heart in the front of the ring would be made of solid 14 karat gold. But if I look on the back of the ring, I can see this tiny little golden heart here in the front is actually plated in gold. It's not like a solid gold piece. So there's almost no gold in this ring actually. It is like a very thick plating. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on the back of the ring, but I can see that the back is entirely made out of silver, and I would say that about 10% maybe on the edges is actually gold. You know, I think Pandora could have put a little bit more gold in this ring, considering the fact that the hearts are so tiny and it would not take a lot of gold, you know, to make this. But it's a beautiful ring anyway. I only have 3 two-tone Pandora rings, and this is the last one that I have here to show you. This ring here is called Silver Infinite Love, and it has that little infinite symbol surrounding all over the ring. But the infinite symbols are actually made of tiny little hearts. And those hearts are half covered in zirconia stones and the other half is just the plain silver. And one of the infinite symbols is actually made of gold. But like the previous ring, you know, if you remove the ring and you start looking inside like I'm doing now, you're gonna realize that it's not the entire symbol that is made of solid 14 karat gold. It's just a very thick plating, so it's not a solid gold piece. But like the other one, it's still a pretty ring. Well, I told you that Pandora has one collection that is called Shine, which are pieces made of sterling silver but plated in 18 karat gold. I only have one piece of the Shine collection and it's right here. I have the Princess Tiara crown ring, and you have already seen this ring in this video in silver in the beginning of this video. It was the first ring I showed you and one of the first Pandora rings that I have ever bought, and it's the one that I told you that I lost in Sedona during my trip. So I got him in gold too, you know, that is plated in 14 karat gold, and I'm also gonna show you the rose gold version of this same ring. So it's a gorgeous ring. I believe it's still available for sale on their website. I think it's one of the most beautiful Pandora rings that I have ever seen. Now I'm gonna show you some rings that belong to the Pandora Rose collection, but it is not solid gold at all. This rose gold collection is a blend of metals that is totally unique to Pandora. They mix copper and silver and then plate that with 14 karat rose gold. The first one is this ring here, which is called Alluring Brilliant Ring, and it's a ring that has several little round stones. There are zirconia stones and the frame is this little rose gold color. And I like to combine this ring because it is one of those stacking rings with my princess crown ring. I think it looks really good with the rose gold princess crown ring. The next rose gold ring that I have here to share with you is called Sparkling Bow. And this ring here was produced by Pandora in different metal finishes too. I have this one here that is plated in rose gold, but they also have this same ring available in sterling silver, and they also have it available in 14 karat gold. I think this ring is just adorable. It has like a highlighted little bow, as you can see in the little details, and the bow has like a little ribbon that falls both on the right and on the left of the ring, and it is covered with tiny little zirconia stones all over. And if we look inside this ring here, there is also a tiny little hidden heart. So once again we see all the attention of details that Pandora has with its pieces. The next one is called Eternal Clouds, and it has tiny little rose gold spheres all over the ring. I don't know if you remember, but you have already seen this ring here in my collection today in this video, but in the silver color instead of rose gold color. But this ring here was also produced by Pandora with 14 karat gold, yellow gold. So they have it in silver, rose gold and yellow gold. Now this one here is called Forever Love Heart, and it's another stacking ring from Pandora, and it has tiny little hearts surrounding the entire ring. I don't know if you remember, but you have already seen this ring in the beginning of this video too, but in silver instead of rose gold. But like the previous ring, Pandora also released this ring here in 14 karat solid gold. This ring here is called Princess Tiara Crown, and I'm sure that you remember that you have already seen the same style of ring twice in my video today. The first one was the one made out of silver, and the second one was the one plated in 18 karat gold from the Shine collection. And now I have this one here, which is the last Pandora ring that I have in my collection to share with you. So here we have it. You have just seen all the 49 Pandora rings that I have in my collection. I know that like 49 rings sound like a lot of rings, but just remember that I started collecting all these Pandora pieces 10 years ago in 2013. So if we take like 49 divided by 10 years, it's an average of 5 rings per year. I did buy most of these rings, but some of these rings were gifted to me from my husband and other people that I know during special occasions. I don't have any partnership with Pandora, and I'm sharing here just my honest opinion about everything. And if you stayed here with me until the end of this video, thank you so much. It was great to have you here with me, and it was fun to share all of my Pandora ring collection with you. Just remember that if you want to learn a little bit more about the Pandora history, I have already recorded a video just about that. And if you watch my following videos, you can see a little bit of my other Pandora collections. So stay tuned. And it was great to have you here. If you liked this video, please remember to click on the like. And if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel too. And it was great to see you. And I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!